being out in the country, the sounds of, I hate to sound corny, the sounds of nature and how quiet it is, and you can hear all the insects and the animals and stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of people who live, a lot of young people who've grown up in the city, they don't ever get to experience that, you know. So we were lucky to be able to experience all that, but here we are.
Looking out in your backyard and seeing 16 wild turkeys.
Oh, that's cool.
It is.
It's better than drinking 16 wild turkeys.
Well, some people do that up on the farm too.
Yeah, I think in some of my past lives I might have done that myself.
That's so funny. That is so funny. So we have the Kentucky connection, and like I say, it's a place that is still I love it. You know, I love Kentucky. So you guys you released, and it looks like you had a digital reissue of Wrapped Up in Your Arms for Christmas.
That's correct. You know what? I'm going to grab a quick glass of water real quickly. We talked about this earlier.
Okay.
So while you're talking, I'm going to go off camera real quick. I'll be right back. Hang on 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Now I said it would be 2 seconds, and I was right. There was some water right close to me here.
Okay, now I jinxed you. You
did. I was telling you earlier, I'm not going to need any water, but here we go. Wrapped Up in Your Arms for Christmas is actually one of 2 Christmas CDs that we had out last year. It was recorded, I forget, 3 or 4 years ago, and Time Life actually re-released it. I always have trouble with that word. Re-released it as part of their catalog this last Christmas. And as a matter of fact, all of our catalog has been re-released on Time Life. We have about 4 different projects, so we're really happy about that all of that has been re-released on Time Life.
It was a learning curve for all of us.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's funny. I mean, when was that? 2020?
That was 2020. And
I mean, it was like the lost year. I mean, you know, and for some reason, it's still, I have trouble remembering what year it is. You know, it's because everything has been so messed up because of that.
Well, I said to one of my good close friends last night, 2020 and 2021 almost seem like the same year. Yeah,
it did. Now, luckily, last year we were able to do a lot of touring. A lot of our 2020 dates we were able to reschedule.
Right.
Yeah, so we actually had a fairly busy year last year, which is very lucky because a lot of people didn't. And this year's actually so far turning out to be really. I mean, we're scheduling a lot of stuff. So things seem to be opening up a little bit finally. And you know, I mean, one has to be careful, but you know, we all. You know, we're ready to go. You know, I think that's one thing 2020 taught all of us is that we really miss touring.
Yes.
I mean, that's the first year in our whole career that we didn't tour. And it kind of, you know, it kind of makes you rethink, you know, your what you do, because, you know, sometimes you can frankly get tired of touring, you know, by the end of the year. You know, you do, you know, 50, 60, 70 dates, you just kind of want to take a break. But that year taught us that, well, we still want to do this and we want to keep doing it for a while. And hopefully we can for a few more years.
Right. Did you lose anybody in the band or associated?
No, we were very lucky, and actually no one in the band or family or anyone particularly. Now we did have some friends, you know, and maybe in the business or even not in the business that we lost, and that was a real shame. But we were very lucky, and so far there haven't been any major issues health-wise, and I think we're going to be okay. So we're very thankful for that.
You're blessed. You're you know, really blessed, because there have been, you know, deaths of crew members and whatnot. You know, and look, we lost Meatloaf a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, there've been just so many, you know, going all the way back to John Prine, and then people like that, Joe Diffie, and through the years, I mean,
Charlie Pride too.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't know. It'd be hard to say how many people were actually lost either directly or indirectly to COVID over the last couple of years, but it's been way too many.
Way too many. I was telling somebody earlier in an interview that one of my friends, who's a fellow songwriter, a female, as a matter of fact, she wrote If I Know Me, George Strait cut it, the song If I Know Me. Pam Belford, she died as indirectly because of COVID, and she'd fallen ill, and she was afraid to go to the hospital because she was afraid she was going to catch COVID.
Yeah, well, that's a shame. Yeah.
And by the time her family got her there, it was too late. She died like 3 hours later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. And there are a lot of cases like that. So hopefully things are, keep our fingers crossed, easing up a little bit. And I know, and I, one thing we noticed last year in all our audiences, people seem to be just thrilled just to get out to see a concert for a change, and the crowd reactions, when we started back, we were going, man, these people really love us. And they were thinking, well, they're going to love anybody. So, no, but I mean.
Well, and when I have, there's still the fans that say they're a little nervous about coming back out again. For the fans that are, I tell them, wear a mask. Yeah, there's no shame in wearing a mask. If I have a high-risk husband. My husband is a cancer survivor and a 2-time stroke survivor. Who has vascular issues. I have a high-risk husband. I still wear a mask everywhere I go. There's no shame in wearing a mask. And sometimes, because in McMinnville, we had and right now it's pretty bad. COVID's pretty bad here. And because they were just not believing that it was real or whatever. And I belonged to like one of my neighborhood groups, and I saw them saying, why are people driving in their cars alone with a mask? And now I do it on purpose just to annoy them.
Right. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, I'll say as a group, we still are very careful when we go out. We still wear masks. And unfortunately, we don't do meet and greets like we used to. We just can't do that yet. And we, request we have to be very careful backstage and all that sort of stuff. And for one thing, we don't want anyone getting sick. Number one, to get sick. And also if one person gets sick, you have to cancel,
you got to cancel the show.
It affects a lot of people. So you just have to be terribly careful about that.
Another thing people don't realize, because some of them, we've got the anti-vaxxers and then the the vaccinated. You got the two kind of groups of people. And what these people don't realize when the venues are saying you have to show, like with the cruises, you've got to be vaccinated, and even they're going one further with the cruises. You have to show a 24-hour negative COVID test with a vaccination.
Right.
They're floating Petri dishes, for crying out loud, people.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep you safe.
Right. Exactly.
They're trying to not shut down the industry again. And it makes me crazy when I see people complaining about it. It's like, okay, and there's another thing. They're called insurance companies, and every single show is insured. Every venue has to have insurance. Right. Insurance companies don't want to get hit with a wrongful death suit, for crying out loud.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And another thing, and I hope our fans realize this, a lot of times it's not necessarily our decision to require this or that. It's probably the venues.
Yes.
Which brings up a totally unrelated point. We get comments a lot. People will be on our website and our Facebook page and say, why aren't you guys coming to our town or this town or that town? And I want to keep explaining, we don't make the decision necessarily on where we're going. It's up to the promoter who hires us.
Yes.
And some people get very angry with us and go, well, you just don't want to come here or something. And I try to politely say, it's not our choice.
Yes.
But anyway, I don't know why I got off on that.